Hey everyone, welcome back to the Top Drive Show. My name is Dimitri. I work as a community manager for Top Drives. As you guys all know, you must have seen my face a million times. So I'm here in this abandoned hutch office in the middle of London, pretty much all by myself in my makeshift studio around here. I'm here to talk about our next prize car for the championship. And yes, indeed, we have just released our second championship with the 14.4 update that went out to Top Drives a couple of days ago. And obviously this is, guys, something you've been asking from us for a long time, to release a new championship, and here it is finally. And it's quite an exciting car, isn't it? It's the, as you can see, the Nissan Skyline GTR LM Nismo R33. Quite a mouthful to pronounce this car, so I'll just be saying Skyline R33. But it's obviously a very rare car in real life, and in game it has an RQ of 79. It's an epic, a very good all-rounder with some really nice stats around the handling and top speed. So it'll be very useful for any sort of garages. So just like its predecessor, pretty much, the Yellowbird. So as usual, I've got Will today. He will talk about cars' history and performance, show footage. We've picked 4 cars, if I'm not mistaken, to race against, including the Yellowbird, to show off the car's sort of strong sides and points. And don't forget, guys, to unlock the championship for this Skyline R33, you need to beat the whole Yellowbird campaign first, which is obviously quite challenging, as you need to earn renown points by placing in various events and then unlock rounds. And as you go and use the renown points to unlock these rounds, you get closer to the ultimate prize car, which in the case of the first championship is the Yellowbird, and in our case it's the Skyline. So it's going to be a pretty long road for many of you, of course, and the theme being Japanese, using both older Japanese cars as well as cars from the Japan Pro Tour. It might be a bit challenging, but we know it's a long form type of content, so you have all the time in the world to unlock it. So I'm sure many of you will get your hands on this awesome prize car. So without wasting any more time, I'm giving words to Will, and let's find out more about this beautiful Skyline R33. Will?
Why, thank you, Dimitri. In many ways, the R33 is the forgotten Skyline GTR. I mean, only in a way that a GTR is ever forgotten, so not actually forgotten at all. But its predecessor, the R32, with its amazing success in Group A racing and its iconic blue and white calsonic livery, will forever be the car that most people think about when a Skyline is mentioned. The cars that followed it, the R34 and the R35, the non-Skyline R35, have received so much attention thanks to film and TV, they've sort of outshadowed the R33. What's the reason for this? Perhaps it's because the R33 isn't as distinctive looking as the others. The R32's sharp 80s nose and the R34's big mouth mean that you can spot them a mile away, while the car in the middle is just a bit more subtle looking, and arguably all the better for it. Under its restrained body, though, the R33 has all of the Skyline GTR trademarks. It has Nissan's turbocharged 2.6-litre straight-six, the RB26 DET, and the fancy four-wheel drive system, the ATTESA, ATTESA, which stands for, deep breath, Advanced Total Traction Engineering System for All Terrain. Plus, the R33 feels so much like a Skyline too. There's incredible pace, a super strong engine, and handling that is miraculously equal parts stunning traction and hyper agility. It can grip and grip and grip, but it'll also slide about, which sounds terrifying and difficult to judge. Yet GTRs, the R33 included, still manage to feel predictable, controllable. They do what you want when you want it to, and they are stunningly exciting because of it. Another card the R33 does hold is that it's the Skyline with the most ambitious motorsport history. It's not the most successful, perhaps not even the most wild, but the R33 fought against cars so very different from itself. It went to Le Mans to race supercars. So we've spoken about Le Mans and prototype racing in the 90s when it all went a bit dodgy. It was the end of the Group C era and the period after it was all a bit iffy. But by 1995, however, the FIA introduced the GT1 class to Le Mans. These rules allowed almost any car to race, as long as a road legal version was built to homologate it, sometimes just one. So for its first GT1 car, Nissan's motorsport division, Nismo, took its JGTC spec R33 race Skyline and made some tweaks to it to make the GTR LM Nismo, LM for Le Mans. The Japanese touring car was the perfect base because although it was a GTR, it was actually purely rear-wheel drive, and the GT1 rules, they didn't allow for four-wheel drive. And because of the other GT1 rule about there needing to be a road car version, Nismo also added the competition car's super wide body kit, deep front bumper, and big rear wing to the road car, so that not only was any of the GTR R33 subtlety totally obliterated, but the FIA would have to deem it eligible. Plus, on the road car, the front diff and drive shafts were scrapped too, because it had to be correct. It had to be like the race car. Even if only one was made and it was never sold to the public, it had to be just like the race car. The race version of the GTR LM, it had a tough time. It was competing against full-on supercars that had been thoroughly worked over for Le Mans. The 1995 race included smaller, lighter Honda NSXs, Porsche 911s and Chevrolet Corvettes, not to mention full race versions of the Ferrari F40 and McLaren F1. Did the big Nissan, based on a bulky four-seater coupe, stand a chance against these lithe supercars? Well, of the two LMs sent to France for the race, the best qualifying position was 27th, so it didn't look promising. But the race was wet, and cars kept coming off all over the place. One of the GTRs got up to 7th then, before a gearbox issue made it retire. The second R33, however, it kept battling and finished 10th overall, 5th in class. The only other GT1 car to beat it was the V12-powered, carbon fibre McLaren F1 GTR, the type of car that won that year's race. Not bad at all then. Nismo did return to Le Mans in 1996 with an even more powerful 2.8-litre R33, but the GT class was even more serious that year, thanks to McLaren evolving the F1 GTR even further, and the appearance of the 911 GT1, the Dodge Viper GTSR, and the GTR LM finished in a respectable 15th that year. But Nissan decided to evolve things even further, and they built the bespoke R390 GT1 to take on the supercars properly. It's the early GTR LM Nismo, the 1995 car, that's in Top Drives. Let's see how it competes. First, against something modern, something that's also front engine, rear drive and on slicks, and designed for a GT race category, the Ford Mustang GT4. On a mile straight drag race, the lighter Nissan takes the lead initially. Then its built for Le Mans setup shows its worth, and the GTR pulls out an even bigger lead over the Ford as the speeds rise. A slightly more demanding course now then, the G4 circuit. Let's put it up against something with similar figures. The Renault Sport Megane Trophy. Both cars have similar weight, they're 0 to 60 times close, although the Renault is a bit faster, but the Nissan's handling is slightly better. Around this circle, it's the GTR's more stable handling that allows it to sneak into the lead and take a win. The Nismo is all about racing hypercars, so let's pit it against Mazda's rotary-powered concept, the 4i, somewhere they should both feel at home too, the fast circuit. The swoopy Mazda concept takes the lead off the line, but the long back straight is perfectly suited to the LM's Mulsanne-ready gearing and super top speed. The lead the GTR makes down the straight is enough to keep it ahead against the 4i over the finish line. Finally then, the GTR is an icon of the 90s. Let's try it against an icon of the 80s, well, very late 80s, the rough CTR Yellowbird. Out on the hairpin course, where neither car can use its 200 mph top speed, it's the slick-shod Nissan that with its higher handling that starts to gain an advantage. It creeps ahead at every bend and eventually wins the race. Just like in real life then, the GTR LM Nismo is more competitive than anyone might initially expect. We shouldn't really be surprised though, not now. We should all know how phenomenal GTRs are.
Well, this is it, guys. Thank you very much, Will, for coming along once again and reviewing a price car for us, our newest, latest championship price car, the Skyline R33. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I just wanted to say on behalf of the whole Top Drives team, we're wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, as this is likely to be our final video for this year. And then we hope that everything is going well for your families. So as usual, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy our content, and follow our social links as well to stay up to date with all the Top Drives news. Otherwise, Dimitri signing off for the rest of the year, and I will see you very, very soon. Hopefully the next year will be quite exciting for all of us guys. Anyway, signing out. Bye-bye.